Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a look at the NECA action figure of Christopher Lee Dracula from Horror of Dracula. So here's what the figure looks like right out of the packaging. The cape is packaged separately, so we'll put that on a little bit later. I just want to show you guys the basic sculpt and paint on the suit that he has. It's a very basic, like pants, shoes. I honestly couldn't tell you if these are newly sculpted pieces or just repurposed from other figures, but the big standout here is the little cravat there at the collar. The rest is basically just like, a black suit. I do like the buttons, the lay of the coat in particular, and the sculpt of his hands. I do like how dramatic his hands and finger sculpt looks great. I really do like these hands in the ring quite a bit, and I do like the paint on his little jabot or whatever that is there. And then the likeness of the head. This is like the relaxed sort of portrait, and I really do think this reads like young Christopher Lee. I think the likeness is spot on. The paint on the eyes, the resting of his eyebrows, and his mouth line in particular looks really, really good. I dig the hair paint. This figure does come with two alternate heads, two more exciting heads. I think this one might be my favorite. I like the blood right there around the mouth, the intense eyebrows, the intense eyes. I love in Horror of Dracula when his eyes are all bloodshot, and you really do get that. I mean, look at the mania in this face. A bloodier mouth. I really, really dig this mouth. I really dig the teeth, the fangs. The flow of the hair is very dramatic, a little tousled, a little messed up there. So I like the way it flows around the sides of the ears a little more there. Great heads. We also get some alternate hands, some grippy hands. We get this grippy hand with a little finger point, and then a left and right, kind of like standard tighter grip. These hands can be used to grip this shovel. Here's just a wider look at that shovel. Nice detail as far as like the paint and the surface of it, like the texture of it does read like, gross kind of old iron metal. The paint really, really reads well. And then we have this candle and like candle holder, and the candle is a flame, and then this candle is really a flame, and I think both of these look really, really good, but I like the sculpt and paint of the fire on this one in particular. Lastly, we get his cape, which is a soft goods, cloth goods cape. The material of it seems really nice. Also thin, it doesn't feel like it's too bulky, but I do really, really appreciate that the collar is sculpted. Especially the tie, because this tie, if you use a little string, when you tie it would like stick out and not lay right, and with this sculpted collar and string, it'll read better against this plastic figure's whole like shoulder area. See what I mean? How like it just plops and fits right along the edge of his shirt collar. Had this been made of soft goods, I don't know if this would bend at the collar and lay downward, and I know this string would be kind of floofy and not lay flat against his chest, so this looks awesome. Like I said, I really like the sculpt of that hand. I think it makes for some really dramatic posing with the figure. I normally don't like soft goods. I usually prefer every element of my action figures to be consistent, so if there's plastic clothes, there should be a plastic cape. But I do think that you would not be able to get this figure to be able to raise his arms into such different poses if you had a sculpted cape. So in this case, I really do like the cloth goods. I mean, come on, a facial expression this dramatic requires a figure to be able to have like dramatic posing that matches it, and you wouldn't be able to get this into such a like distinct pose if you didn't have a soft goods cape to move the arms so widely. So on the whole, I'm very happy with this figure. It doesn't come with like a lot of accessories, but it doesn't come with a few accessories either, like the two different candles, the shovel, the alternate heads are what really, to me, give you some value here. And NECA's been pretty good lately with including multiple heads that are worthwhile, and I think all three of these expressions are really, really good. I also really appreciate that this head's eyes are looking downward. That look downward really does intensify the whole figure's expression. Now, even though this figure comes with more exciting heads, and even though it comes with all these accessories that you could put in his hands, these dramatically sculpted hands, I do think there is something about just this figure with this neutral head, like on the shelf. It may be simple, it may not be that exciting, but it really has a strong presence, and I really respect the hell out of just this presence. And I really respect the hell out of NECA for even making this figure. They've been doing a lot of Universal monsters over the years, a lot of different versions of Bela Lugosi, Dracula, and Frankenstein, but I love that they're dipping their toes into the Hammer era. They already started dipping their toes into the silent film era with like London After Midnight and Nosferatu, and I'm really glad they're doing this because if I'm being honest, this is one of my favorite Dracula movies, and I cannot wait for them to do their Van Helsing figure soon. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this figure, and if you want to be up to date with all my latest reviews, be sure to click subscribe.